Hi, Ty from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book on record to play for you. Today's book is The Jolly Snowman from 1979. So let's get started.
This is your Kid Stuff read-along book. Every time you hear this chime, it means that you are to turn the page in your storybook. Now we are ready to begin our adventure into the land of fun. Open your book and we will start the story of The Jolly Snowman. Remember, when you hear the chime, turn the page.
Our story begins just a day after the heaviest snowstorm that anyone could ever remember. The snow was so beautiful as it glistened in the sunlight. The trees and their leafless branches looked like frozen jewels because of the snow and ice that glimmered on the branches. The woodland creatures were all hidden away in the warmth of their homes, but the little squirrel and the baby chipmunk wanted to see if it was really cold outside. So out of the burrow came the little woodland animals, and brrr, it was cold. Because it was so cold, the two little animals turned around and scurried back into the warmth of their little underground homes. Now on this cold morning, the little children were all running out of their warm homes. What a sight they were! They were all bundled up in warm coats and sweaters and mittens and scarves and hats. It was hard to know that they were little children. They all looked like little bundles of clothing running around the fields. They all began to play in the snow. Then Jimmy Henderson called out to the children.
Let's make snowmen. We'll see who can build the biggest and best snowman.
The children all agreed. Everyone started rolling snowballs, and for the rest of the day, the children worked and worked. Soon the field was dotted with many snowmen of all shapes and sizes. Jimmy noticed a little funny-shaped snowman who was having the finishing touches put on him. The snowman had been built under the branches of a tree, and a little girl by the name of Nancy was just adding the coal for the eyes as Jimmy walked over to her. He looked at the funny little snowman and began to laugh.
That is the funniest little snowman I have ever seen.
The little girl, who must have been about 5 years old, looked up at the boy and said,
"Well, I tried. This was the best that I could do."
Jimmy turned and ran back to his friends. He told them,
Go over to that tree and look at the funny little snowman that Nancy made.
Soon all the children were looking at the snowman, and they too began to laugh.
He's funny looking.
They all shouted. Little Nancy felt as if she were going to cry. Nancy looked at the snowman and then at all the children, and she said to them,
My snowman will last. He is not going to melt as fast as yours. He is better made than any of your snowmen.
When the children heard that Nancy thought her snowman was better than theirs and that hers would last, they began to laugh all the more. Nancy looked up at her little snowman and patted his head. She said,
To me, you are the best. You are the jolliest snowman in the whole world. We'll see if you are still here tomorrow. Good night, snowman.
Nancy then turned and ran back toward her house. Soon night came, and the blue sky was now covered with the gray clouds of night. The cold wind began to blow, and a few more drops of snow began to fall. I know that what I'm going to tell you now you will not believe, but it really happened. The 5 snowmen that were built in the field began to move. At first, the snowmen began to move their heads to and fro. Then their arms moved. And then, what a sight as all the snowmen began moving all over the field. It is hard to believe, but 5 snowmen were dancing in the fields under the twinkling stars. Then the biggest of the snowmen looked at the little snowman that was still standing under the tree. The big snowman moved toward the little one and called out,
"Come and play and dance with us under the stars."
No, no.
cried the little snowman.
I am tiny. I might trip and fall into a million little snowflakes.
The other snowmen began to laugh at the small snowman. The big snowman said,
"Oh, come, have some fun. We cannot hurt ourselves. We are made from snow."
The little snowman huddled under the branches of the tree and said,
I will stay here.
and the others laughed at him. All night long they danced and danced. They were having such a good time. Little Jack Frost came riding out of the sky and landed in the branches of the tree. He looked down at the little snowman and asked,
Why are you not in the field dancing, little one?
The snowman looked up and greeted the little elf with a cheery hello.
Oh,
He then told Jack Frost that since he was so tiny, that it would be better for him to stay where he belonged.
the little girl who made me was so tiny, and she worked so hard. I would not want to fall apart. She loves me, and I love her. I'm only sorry that I'm not as big as the others.
The snowman then told Jack Frost how the other children had laughed at the little girl for making such a tiny snowman. Jack looked down from the tree branches and told the baby that the little girl did the best that she could, and because of that, he was special. Jack told him that the little girl had made the snowman out of love, and that was the most important thing in the world. The little snowman looked up at Jack Frost and told him that if the little girl was happy with him the way he was, then he was happy too. Well, the night was nearly at an end, and the morning would soon be there. The biggest snowman stopped dancing and looked at the sky.
"Look at the morning light. We must stop dancing."
Then he turned to the little snowman hidden under the tree branches and called him and said that he should come out into the field and stand with them.
"It is nicer and brighter over here with us. Come, little one."
No,
Cried the little snowman.
I'll stay here. This is where little Nancy wants me to stand.
"You are silly.
Said the biggest snowman.
You are not like other snowmen."
All the snowmen took their places in the open field as the sun rose in the sky. They stopped moving, and it was all very quiet once again. But then something began to happen. The sun was very warm, and all the snowmen in the field began to melt. Soon, all the snowmen in the field were just puddles of water. Under the tree, safe from the warm rays of the sun, stood the little snowman. When little Nancy ran into the field and saw all the melted snowmen, she began to cry. She thought that her snowman had melted too, but when she looked under the tree, she saw him standing there. Her tears of sadness became tears of joy, and the little snowman was the jolliest little snowman in the whole world.
So that was the Jolly Snowman for 1979. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.